What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Will here, back with another video. Now today we dropping our third video of the day. I decided to triple upload for y'all, man, just on this Good Friday, feeling good. I hope a lot of y'all got paid today. I did, but it's all good. You know them commission checks gonna come through for me. But today we got an interesting topic, and we got to go in here and discuss this Browns wide receiver room. So Mr. Watkins has done himself a favor and made it really difficult for Andrew Berry to cut him. Despite him not really having the roster set up for him to make the team. And let's sit here and talk about it. For one, they got Jeremy Grant. They got Grant on top of having Anthony Schwartz, third round pick, David Bell, third round pick. They also have Cedric Tillman, Marquise Goodwin. So let's count out these wide receivers, and you guys let me know how many you think they keep. They got Elijah Moore, Amari Cooper, DPJ, Cedric Tillman. Them top four regardless locks. Number 5, who's the 5th best wide receiver on this team? Based on the preseason, it looks like Watkins was was that 5th guy. But, you know, I think a lot of jobs are going to be at stake. I think a lot of jobs going to be at stake, man. But Watkins don't really fit what this team's looking for as far as what we need is speed. But he's 6'3", and he catches every damn thing. David Bell is similar to Watkins. So it's going to be hard for Watkins to get David Bell cut when David Bell is a rookie. You know, he's a rookie. He hasn't been he's been outplayed by Watkins, but it's really we don't know what goes on in practice as far as production goes, but Watkins has looked like the better wide receiver. But David Bell just got drafted last year. You can't really cut him, can you? Now let's go to Anthony Schwartz. Anthony Schwartz can be cut. He's been severely outplayed, but they're two different type of wide receivers. Marquise Goodwin, two totally different type of wide receivers. It all comes down to, do you think Grant makes this roster? We got to keep in mind who Grant was before he blew his Achilles. He was a Pro Bowl punt returner. Pro Bowl punt returner. So, is having Jakeem Grant on the roster going to get a guy like Watkins cut? It's what I really think this is what it's going to come down to. I think David Bell makes this roster. But can Jakeem Grant get pushed off this roster due to Watkins pretty much being so good at wide receiver? They don't feel like they need Jakeem Grant to be an all-pro punt returner. So let's discuss it. If Watkins was to make this roster, Watkins, Cooper, DPJ, Elijah Moore, Tillman, Goodwin, David Bell. That's it. That's 7. No Anthony Schwartz, no Jakeem Grant. That's 7. Now, when you break this roster down, how many speed guys do you have? You got Marquise Goodwin, who's on the IR. So maybe we can add him, and then maybe Schwartz or somebody makes it to the practice squad. But you got Marquise Goodwin, who's on. And keep in mind, Anthony Schwartz has been looking pretty much a little bit better. He's been looking like he might sneak on this roster, which a lot of you guys don't really want to hear. But not to here nor there. Watkins is kind of like a Jarvis Landry. You got Cedric, who's a big body. Amari Cooper, he's your number 1. DPJ is your number 2. Elijah Moore is your gadget guy. Marquise Goodwin, or Goodwin, however you want to say it, he's your deep threat. So you got a position for everything, but Marquise Goodwin's not on this roster. So if there's a way they keep 7, and then David Bell's like your developmental piece. So is there a way you keep 7 wide receivers, you sneak maybe like an Anthony Schwartz onto the practice squad, and then when Marquise Goodwin or Goodwin gets healthy, that's when you, until he's healthy, you will put Schwartz back on the practice squad or Watkins on the practice squad? That's a good way to see it happening. Now it comes down to if you guys think they're going to keep 7 wide receivers. Because that defensive room that they got, that DB room right now, it's causing some problems. We got a linebacker, 43. that guy's going to start. I'm not start. I'm guessing. That guy's going to make this roster. He's playing unbelievable. And Hickman, he's playing unbelievable. I don't see how you could cut those guys, especially on defense. We're not the best safety room. We're not the best linebacker room. Hickman, speed, and having especially with the loss of Jacob Phillips, I think Diabetes makes this roster. So I think Maurice Hurst makes this roster. I think Maurice Hurst, Dalvin Thomason, Shelby Harris, Siaka Akia. No, it's Akia. I know I've been saying it right. Y'all got on me in the comments. It's Akia. Siaka Akia. David, I'm trying to. How many defensive tackles y'all think make this run? Let's count out the D's. Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith, Isaiah McGuire, Alex Wright, and are on the IR. So we having a lot of guys that's on IR. That could be a way to free up. But so it's going to end up coming down to what guy do you think can make it to the practice squad. That's really what it's going to come down to. Which one of these guys can make it to the practice squad? It's one of these guys can make it to the practice squad and be called up without nobody really, doing anything. I think the Browns will be A-okay and be able to keep these guys without cutting a lot of guys. But somebody's going to get cut. I personally, I would cut Josh Dobbs. I would go with 2 quarterbacks. I would keep somebody on. I would keep a 3rd quarterback on the practice squad, and I would rock out with 7 wide receivers and use that extra wide receiver spot and get rid of Josh Dobbs. That's what I would do personally. That's me. I don't know how that works as far as cap. I know that'd probably save us a little bit of money. But then you're still able to kind of mess around with the defense and keep who you want to keep. But unfortunately, somebody's good is going to get cut. I remember we had a big debate about, I forgot what was bro names, like Rashad Higgins and Kadero Hodges. Kadero Hodges, we was talking about him like he was elite. He wouldn't make this roster in a heartbeat, man. This is one of the most talented Browns rosters that we've ever had. And we should really sit back and really complain about our rich people problems and realize, like, hey, we're in a better place in Cleveland. We could complain about Jedrick Wills. The Bengals would probably love to have Jedrick Wills. The Ravens would probably love to have Jedrick Wills. There's a lot of teams that probably would love to have Jedrick Wills. We complain about Jedrick Wills. We're over here complaining and arguing about our 7th wide receiver spot. A lot of teams would love to have those type of problems, man. This is a very good. We're complaining about if our 3rd string is better than our 2nd string. Like, we got rich people problems. This is rich people problems. I feel like we should all sit back and just enjoy being good for freaking once. We can sit back and just be like, hey, we're a good football team. I don't got to wake up on Sunday and have anxiety and hope we win 8 games this year. We going to win 10 games. Let's just be happy with it. And let's enjoy this season and really enjoy how good this football team should be. Knock on wood, let's make sure nobody gets hurt. But let's enjoy this season, man. And then on top of enjoying this season, you boys better get ready for these big playoff games, man. I know y'all not used to it, but when we feel like we supposed to win because we got that quarterback, it's going to be a different feeling. So, I don't know. My personal opinion, like I said, I would go about this with just keeping all the wide receivers and cutting Josh Dobbs. You can't keep 8 wide receivers, of course. I think Josh Dobbs and Jakeem Grant would be the way I would go. Or Josh Dobbs and Anthony Schwartz would be the way I would go. Those would be the 2 guys I feel like should make this roster. That's just me, though. You may be able to sneak Josh Dobbs on the practice squad. But you guys give me your comments. How y'all feel about it? Who would you make? Where would you cut some guys at? We got to keep in mind that the other position groups are really important. Our corner group is pretty much set with Cam Mitchell, AJ Green, Martin Emerson, Greg Newsome, and Denzel Ward. D room is pretty much set. Safety room is pretty much set unless Hickman or David Bell not David Bell. I forgot. D'Anthony Bell. That's his name. I couldn't think of it. Unless he makes the roster. The defense is pretty much set. I think Diabetes make that linebacker room. It really comes down to if Hickman or D'Anthony Bell make that safety room. But on offense, I also didn't like the film that I seen out of James Hudson we get into that on another day. I feel like it's a little concerning what he did and how he's been looking. But other than that, you guys make sure y'all have a great one. I want to get y'all thoughts and y'all comments on this and how y'all will keep and who would y'all get rid of. You know, the popular opinion is going to be to cut Anthony Schwartz, but we kind of need his speed. He's kind of been playing a little bit better, and he's a third-round pick. So there's a lot of stuff working in his favor, and we got to keep in mind with that. But it's your boy, Will. This should be my third upload as long as my internet doesn't fail me. It should be my third upload of the day. And I'm out. Peace.